programs and its efficacy for dyslexia. And can I have the next slide? Okay. You just look at this slide. This slide was taken like 20 years ago when we were still using Blackboard in schools. And at that point of time, I was already teaching children dyslexia. And if you can see some words here, you can see your spelling R-A-J-I-N. This means Rajin. Rajin means you're hardworking, and it is in Malay. So this boy has been, was diagnosed as dyslexia at that point of time. So what I also do is that I learn from them. Sometimes it's so much better to learn from the owners. That's why I say learn from the owners and we will learn more. So next, please. Okay, here the topic was computerized. So computer is a very big word. So I thought computer, ICT, and this is the operational definition that is I'm going to use for this 20-minute session. And here you can see assistive technology is in its original form, and then it has evolved to access computer, and then it simply eases everybody's life actually. And today we are communicating from all parts of the world using this computer, this thing called computer, with different types of software. Next, please. Okay, the hypothesis that I'm going to hear is that computers eases life of children with dyslexia. So basically the assumption is yes. So computer applications itself has a lot of impact on cognitive processes, especially on speaking, reading, spelling, and writing. And all this, we use our 5 senses, VAKT. So next. Next, please. Okay. In Malaysia, this is a computer lab in one of our schools in Malaysia. And here itself, we have like 400,000 statistics that we got in recent years. It's 400,000 people with dyslexic problem. And in Malaysia, it is mostly to do with pronunciation, variations, awareness, memory. And it also has to do with a blending of ethnicity, or because we talk. Earlier when you saw D-I-S-L-E-K-S-I-A, dyslexia is actually the spelling of dyslexia in Malay. So we have a simple word that I used to, as an example here, I said apple. But apple, when they pronounce, would be the same, but when they write, some will write E-P-A-L, some will write A-P-P-L-E. So this is where the confusion started. That was like 20 years ago, and till today we still see such differences in the children. Next, please. So in Malaysia, I'm referring to Malaysia because these are students I've worked with. It is more to sounds with T and D, L, and N, T. L again reflects, and again E and I. So these are the major problems with our children with dyslexia here in Malaysia. And I've just given the chart just for those who are familiar, it's okay. For those who are not familiar, you can just have a look. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, when we want to design, or when you want to have a program, especially when you have a computer program or even any program, there are some elements that we have to have inside that. So one of it is the instruction materials. And these instruction materials can be in form of tutorial activities or anything that can motivate these learners to learn. The first thing that I learned about dyslexic children with dyslexia many years ago is that they are very shy. And the only word they always come and tell me is, people tell me I'm lazy. They said that I'm not motivated to learn. So when you hear this type of words, it was actually very sad, very sad. And the second element that is important is you must have multisensory approach, focus, and which enables learning process to occur, which means there must be some interaction, interactivity. And the third one is audio. You must have clear pronunciation, can be understood, and you correct your phonology. Basically, that's the biggest problem here. And the fourth is illustrations. So if we have images, children learn better. Some children learn better with images. And that images has to do with your context, your living environment, your situation. So that is very, very important. And the other thing is penmanship, when you just can use a stylus pen. Next, please. Next. Okay. The other thing is to improve their memory, can use, and we have to look at the speed at which they do. In Malaysia, the children are given 25% of their exam time, even for children with dyslexia to sit for an exam. If it is in a public exam, they get 25% extra time. And nowadays we have print and writing, which is, we have come up with even bigger print and writing. And the other thing is that they must be guided. And another factor that is important is you have to look at the time management, whether they can work within that time frame. But as I said, it's actually 25% extra, even in public exams. Next, please. So, and one of the major problems here, I have encountered, I've seen, is to do with reading process. And according to Drigas, you must have implementation of a phenomenological approach to learning, and then adaptive to children with dyslexia. It has to be adapted to them, and all this will improve their reading. Again, next, please. Okay, when I went through, later I will show you the applications that my students have come up with, but basically I'm looking at what it's everywhere. So when I went through, it was like 531 applications related to dyslexia. And you can find it in Google Play and extended to desktop extensions and web extensions. So the website is there, and I'm sure all participants who are working with dyslexic children with dyslexia would have seen this. Next, please. I'm just going through a brief of what is happening. And here, has become an assistive technology. Earlier, assistive technology was for people with physical disability, for them to come up to the computer. But today, it is assistive technology for all. So what you have decoding, you can change text to speech, speech to text, and you have shorter lines, more spacing. So it gives more opportunity for the children to learn at their own pace. Next, please. I have to go fast because I'm only given 20 minutes and there's so much to talk. And we have things like word processors with spell checkers. Spell checkers are used for spelling, improve spelling, writing, organization, structure. So I'm sure most of you all who work with children with dyslexia would have used this. So all this, what it does is improves confidence. And this is one major factor affecting children with dyslexia, because I did my PhD in emotional intelligence among children with dyslexia. So the one fact that we saw is low self-esteem and low confidence. So all this will help them to improve their confidence and boost their self-esteem. So the others, I think, you would have, like writing iPads is to improve handwriting, spelling, and sentences. Next, please. I have to say next, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so all this, I don't want to go so much through this because later I will give you more. It is on operating systems. It works on the operating systems, MacOS, MacBooks, iPhones, iPads, and so many things, Android, Samsung Galaxy. And today, whatever they can do is it can be customized to each child. Remember, each child is different. Even they come under the group of dyslexia, they have been labeled as children with dyslexia, yet they all are different and things are customized. And our programs today you can customize for each person. They can operate on their own. Next, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so they can control on the contrast, font style, size of icons. All this comes up to the functionality of web browsers. That means it improves the person, improves the child who is communicating, who's using the computer to enhance his reading, writing process. Okay, next, please. Next slide, please. Okay, and today we have another term called artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has been used, and I have been doing a lot on gamification, but not done with children with dyslexia. I've done with children with ADHD and slow learners. So artificial intelligence gives them a lot of experiences in the real world mixed with real virtual objects. And here again, it is to for engagement, motivation, and support. I think these are the three major things that we work with children with disabilities. The minute you get their trust, the minute you get them to motivate, they can do on their own. It is raining heavily here. Next slide, please. Okay, so among the softwares that I saw or we come across is software called Speak It, Natural Reader, and Word Processor, and it all has its own functions, basically text to reading pages, spell checking, and word prediction. Next, please. Next slide, please. Okay, one example here I'm given is what we call under augmented reality is MDA Avast. And here you can take the picture of the page, you read and then translate image to readable format. So it is again customized, typeface, space between letters, lines to see their readings. And what they found out is 21% of increase in reading. Next, please. Okay, again, you can find all this in App Store and even in your phone. So it is so much convenient today. Next, please. Okay, this is the example that I am giving. So this is I read, and here you can go to your handphone and you can just play it on with it. It's very easy. And the text is being, it can enlarge, it can space out. So it actually enhances the life of children with dyslexia. We are actually blessed to have computer and assistive technology, and we have a lot of softwares around here. Next, please. Okay, the other one we have is writing apps. Here is for word prediction and dictation. Again, this is another, all you have to key in and everything comes out by itself. So this is text-to-speech tool, and you can use it in your Android devices. Next, please. Okay, we all know, we have seen that, or most of us, we know that the words circle. So we have people, as I said, learn from the learners, learn from the owners. So when they come up with this, you can see that the three-dimensional has been put into two-dimensional. That means one line is in front, the other line is at the back. So if you really see these words, you can see that they are not exactly in one line. One is in front, the other one is slightly here. So this is something beautiful for those children who see words circle or words floating. Next, please. So you can find all this here. This is where computer has come so much in handy. Next, please. Okay, these are the applications my students did. And this is our original work. Okay, this is a Maths 2D game, and this is in Bahasa, in Malay. So even if I put, probably you might not understand. This is to teach children mathematics. So here they have slow, one program for slow, average, and excellent students. So there are three different types. And the rate of success that we came across with this is 80%. So 80%, and I give credit to all my students. It is their work. So I'm presenting their work for you all. Next, please. Next, please. This is another application specially created for children with dyslexia too. This is to teach similes, to teach what is this? Words with similar meaning. So when you read, each word has many meanings. So these students, they came up with this software, and it is It is also it was also a success with the children with dyslexia that we worked with. So, next please. All this is in Bahasa, it's in Malay because we teach in Malay. So most of them, they end up, children in the schools, they are quite poor in English and Malay. So this is another example that we did. This is an interactive program. You can see congratulations, Tahniah. Tahniah means congratulations in English. And this is to teach maths again. And it is 2D, but we have our CD. They take it in CD. This is also credit to my students. Next, please. Okay, this is a flip book. This book, I have it here. This is a flip book, which was also used to teach children with dyslexia. And they loved it. It was very good. So if you go online, this is my students' work. So you can see there too. Next, please.
We have another 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I think.
Okay, this is children that I personally worked. If you realize, you can see this boy here. He's only 4 years old, and we taught him how to color. He writes mirror images. He writes mirror images, and the end product was this. So this is another example that we work with dyslexic children. This has got nothing to do with computer, but yet this is something that extra I wanted to share. Next, please. Next, please. Okay, this is a park in New Zealand. I visited this place, so I wanted to share with you all. Next time when you all go to New Zealand, Christchurch, please go to the place. It's a beautiful place, especially dedicated for children with dyslexia or people with dyslexia. So I wanted to share because these are the photographs that I had. Okay, next please. Okay, whether it is efficacy, yes. So you have 60% efficacy. So it has enhanced people's life, availability. The problems that we come across is availability, cost, customization. And this is one thing I have to say, in my opinion, it is not a replacement for early intervention or intervention one-to-one with reading and writing. It only enhances. When you work with children, personal attention, personal work, they improve much faster.